Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana here.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman is sad.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to episode Geek. What the heck, man?
Wait, what?
You're breaking their logo, man. What are you doing? Joe's gonna kill you.
He's gotta make a new logo now. What the hell?
You ruined every. Hi, Sam. By the way, what do you think about this guy? He shaved his face. Now he looks all Well, you do look professional. Welcome to episode 201 of the. I don't care what you say. The internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe Panther the Third, and now from a very clean-shaven and kind of looking like he works for Abercrombie and Fitch, it's the Happy Heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to 201.
I say that, but I'm the guy that wears a polo during the podcast. So pop the collars, babies. So we were supposed to start at 7:30, but we decided to do a little bit early today because let's talk about the most recent show. Let's do a recap of the Victory Pro Wrestling show you went to last Saturday. So let's go.
So anyway. Awesome show for those of you that have not gone. To start, where would you start, Joe? Where do I start about the Victory Pro?
Do how it opened up, brother. How did it start out?
So the opening match, it was Bobby Orlando, and you had Mike Anthony. Mike Anthony winning, obviously, and going on to the finals of the King of New York tournament. Then you had Brother Greatness versus Phil Cardigan. Great match. Phil Cardigan's absolutely great, and he's actually doing so much good work right now. It's unbelievable, Phil Cardigan. And so now the match is going to be set. Now we have Phil Cardigan versus Mike Anthony in the finals for the King of New York tournament, which I can't describe, Joe. That was, if the main event wasn't the match of the night, that match probably wouldn't match of the night because that match was so awesome. So, and to top things off, I'm going to say we had Cade Dante, and debuting Benson, Brad Benson debuting in the Wolves of Odin, which is Brad Benson. He's an NYWC guy. Yeah. So now we got.
Well, remember what I was telling you like a little bit ago on the phone there, Geek? I smell a rivalry between two companies.
Yeah,
like
but but the thing was, Cade is he was on Cade's team. But
still, you never know. That could be a what do they call it? Benedict Arnold? Like boop, turncoat.
You think so? So yeah.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm here for Cade, but I'm not really here for Cade. So Cade. So anyway, the Hounds of Hatred just defeated the Wolves, and what happened was Cade got pissed off, threw a fireball at Bo. So, and that caused for the commissioner, the GM, to come out and say, "Look, guys, he's gonna play around, do all this stuff. Guess what? You're all suspended, and you're suspended until I decide you're coming back." So I don't know what's going to happen. So we had that match. Then we had I almost forgot. Jack Thompson actually wrestled against the Even Stevens in a handicap match, which Tibbs came out with the lead pipe and beat the Even Stevens up at the end, which would lead to the main event. So, and So the secondary match we had, Lil Mean Kathleen getting screwed against Valentina. So if you want to talk a little bit about that, Joe, you could talk about.
I wasn't there, but you told me that she pulled the Eddie Guerrero
the lie, cheat, and steal with the
whoopsie
with the chair. Here's the belt, right?
Yeah. Well,
So-
it's kind of cool to see a wrestler that was on our podcast actually making it, and actually remember how she says Long Island's too far away. So that now that that door is open for more Boston wrestlers to come through to the Victory
Not just Boston, dude. Not just Boston, New England as well.
And remember, our guest from last night did write it on her list. You never know. Cara can make her wrestling debut in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's cool, Cara. I mean, Little Mean Kathleen made her debut that night. I wasn't there, but I heard it was it a good match at least?
She put out a good match, pretty good match. I mean, it was 5 to 10 minutes, but they did put on a decent match for the two of them. So, but I think it's leading to a bigger match down the line. Maybe not next month. Maybe not next month, but in like a couple of months.
Probably,
so
I give it like June or July.
She'll come back, right?
Yeah, whatever shows in July, they'll have her come back during the summer, hype up. You know, nowadays with the indie scene, like wrestlers use smack talk videos, like what the wrestlers make for us. Kathleen, you lost, and you make it sound like I didn't do anything. I did something wrong. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And keep hyping it up to the middle of July whenever they do the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Make the crowd of NYW, VPW get really like, oh my god, she's not even part of our promotion, and they're freaking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah. So yeah, I mean that we had that match, and then after that was I want to recap this a little bit. There was during the intermission, there was like Phil and Mike Anthony were actually fighting right in front of us.
Really?
So yeah, right during the intermission, like Mike Anthony came out of nowhere, and I called him crazy. Obviously, he's crazy, Joe. All right, just jumping poor Phil right there. That's not nice, right?
Right by the tables?
No, this was right by the guardrail. Just jumped him out of nowhere. He took him through from the back and took him into the crowd, and then started beating him up. And then that's when they called security. I'm like, wow, this guy really.
You need to start writing notes about this, Geek, like that, like the good reporter you are when I'm not there. Like,
yeah,
like you see the reporters as you need to start doing.
Yeah, but exactly. So Mike Anthony beat the crap out of Phil, which led to the match later on. And like I said, I was saying this earlier, that Phil and Mike had an amazing match. Amazing. Like if it wasn't for the main event, that probably would have been match of the night. And Phil deserves it, by the way, Joe.
Phil's awesome.
Phil, anybody who doesn't know Phil's gimmick is he's like Popeye. He's all weak, and then he drinks the coffee, and then like he's like a super soldier right there, like Captain.
I guess
America.
we're gonna have to prove that when I come back to Long Island. We'll have to meet up for a cup of coffee.
We're gonna have to see, right?
Yeah.
Remember, Phil likes the dark coffee, right?
Yep, like me.
Yeah. So he's like, it's always a good cup of coffee.
And yes, would you go to 7-Eleven for a cup of coffee, or would we go somewhere nice?
I mean, I love 7-Eleven coffee. What would you say?
It's funny when I went to my Special Olympic event. Oh, by the way, ding, dudes at Ringside Magic, I won. I got a gold. So
exactly. And now Phil is the king now, right?
Yep.
The king of New York.
Yeah. So me and my dad had to get the Dunkin'. Yeah.
And Marauder's like, yeah, the fine cup of coffee. He's like, no, no. And then Mike Anthony goes, no, but I think it was Brother Greatness goes, what's in that coffee? There's got to be something in that coffee.
Marauder, when you come to Long Island, we all have to have coffee.
We'll have coffee with Phil.
Coffee. Yeah, man.
But anyway, it's main event
Killing
time.
Geek.
My God, you're ruining it, Joe. But anyway, it's main event time now. this match, Joe, was absolutely awesome. They used everything. They used chairs and doors and everything.
Marauder, that match, you would have been dying. I saw pictures. Geek, just go on. Tell him.
So, anyway, this match was Johnny Collins. He was defending the belt against Mr. Tibbs, and Mr. Tibbs did a Death Valley driver through the door.
I saw that. I was like,
through the door, and then there was another point where those two were actually fighting right in front of us. They're right near the merch table. He backdropped Johnny Collins right through the table.
Oh,
right, and that wasn't. Let me tell you, that was not a fake table. By the way, that was not a prop table.
Oh God, that was a real.
That was a real merchandise table they were using. Yeah, it's my finisher in 2K. By the way, how are you enjoying 2K? By the way, we'll get into that in a minute.
Geek has it, but he hasn't got a system yet, Murata. So he did he got one check mark. He just hasn't bought the system yet.
Yeah, I mean, I have the I have it on the computer. Actually, I'm playing on the computer. So once I get a control, it's all game right now.
Loves it. I still have to get I have to download your guy. I found Little Mean Kathleen in the game. I have to make Kara, or if you make Kara, I'll download her from your thing.
Yeah.
Go on by the match, Kikus.
So yeah, this match was awesome. Death Valley driver through the table. Mr. Tibbs got busted open. I mean, this was probably the first time I've seen it in BW where somebody got busted open. You don't sound excited.
I wasn't there.
I mean, no, but yeah, Mr. Tibbs was busted open, and even Stevens tried again, came through the mat. Wait, took a little while to get used to the new controls, but should be easier for you to pick up once though. All right, that's cool.
And they pretty much left the way you do the submission, the finishers, except like one part you have to push like triangle and I think R2 or whatever, the R2 or whatever button on top, and it gets, hey, what's up, Alex Pinto?
What's going on, dude?
Don't worry, Pinto, the guest is coming. Don't worry.
Yeah, they're coming. They're on the way. So, but anyway, we're just having a little chit chat. We're doing a recap right now. So
recopies.
But anyway,
making copies.
So yeah, so the main event, awesome, and Even Stevens came out, even though they were all beat up. Joe's favorite tag team. He loves the Even Stevens, though. By the way, don't you, Joe?
What's that? Oh, I love the Even Stevens.
They're so funny, right, Joe? They're hilarious, right?
Yeah, that's ass.
What's up?
And reading Mariah says, "Yeah, that's ass. Can hit the finish as quick as I used to." Yeah. I was like, I got it. I feel like it feels like for me, Marauder. It's like when you're trying to get in the house and you have to pee really, really bad, and like your hands are wet because it was raining, and you're like, I got it. Oh man, I got it.
wants to know what you're talking about, Joe.
Sorry, WWE 2K22.
2K22, and then we're talking VPW at the same
Which
time.
you need to go to a show, Pinto. It's fucking fire.
that shows are amazing, by the way. So
even though I went through one show in July, I still like fucking fire.
And I've been telling Joe about every single show that I went to. He's like, dude, every show has been good, and he's
every
like,
show's good. It's like there's no slack on
it's
the
like
writers' room.
It's like every show at VPW is a big show. There's no, okay, we'll get you guys on the next show. Okay, we'll get you guys. No, every show seems like a big show for them. So they always have like a big match that they have. They always have a championship match. It's not like, okay, we're going to make a tag match. Maybe
I think
once
they're
in a
going to
while.
start luring people over there. Like
What do you
people
mean?
are wrestlers like Kathleen was there last week.
Yeah.
They're going to start luring wrestlers to come to VPW.
Like people from New England, you think? Or,
New England, yeah. I think, hey, what's going on? I'm going to come back to
Joe
Long
needs to
Island.
come to Long Island. Enough said. Yes.
I know. I'm trying. Okay, people. Okay.
Maybe if we try hard enough, Joe will come to Long Island.
What are you going to pray? Maybe if we pray really hard, she'll have to put the meat sauce outside the door. Like, do you know how in the old Warner Brothers cartoons that the cat smells the pie? And I'm here.
There's no COVID on Long Island, Joe.
It's everywhere. So let's not talk about politics.
No politics,
nothing.
right?
No random. No C word here. You get that thing on the bottom of the screen.
Ever so spiffy's like, yes, you have to come. And Pinto wants to know where they go out. They're at St. James.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring the M word. Of course, I always have. St. James, yeah.
St. James, May 7th, the next show. So
I maybe at that one or maybe in July. You never know, people. This mustache will come. This mustache travels.
May 7th, Sports Arena, VPW. That's the next show if you want to go. So,
but you need to get your own ride. Geeks like, shut up, Joe. John Cena?
John Cena won't be there. No, I'm sorry.
Why the hell would John Cena? So, Alex, that's an independent wrestling show. We don't talk about. Hey, John Cena's like that song in Kanto. We don't talk about boo. No, you never know. John Cena's weird. He'll be like, "I'm here, guys." It's like, you're not supposed to be here, John. Doors that way.
But it's like the thing with VPW is like there's not a lot of star power on VPW. But the thing is, they don't need it. They don't. But they don't need it. I don't believe
that. I think there is.
What I mean by that is they don't need it. Like it's people you never heard of. It's what I'm trying to say.
Because that's why when we first got the tickets, like last July, I looked at the roster and I was like, "Who the hell is Johnny? Who the hell is these dudes putting in their hands? It looked like idiots." And that's Steven Stevens. Who's this stupid little dork with the weird eyebrow? There's Johnny Collins. Mm-hmm. Like their website wasn't even up yet. It wasn't even finished. Went to the website and it says working on website. I'm like, what? Who says to go to their website when the website's not up? Like, is it Geek? Is it me or are websites going dead?
Websites are a thing of the past right now. I think.
Yeah, I think their new websites are Instagram and
Twitter, Facebook. That's the new way.
As you know, a lot of independent wrestling promotions, they promote themselves on Facebook now or Insta.
Yeah.
More Insta because Facebook you could post on a wall and then people will read it.
I mean, there are still some places that still have websites. You know, that they try to keep it old school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the most part, the newer promotions, they're more Facebook based, Instagram, social media based. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you gotta buy tickets somewhere.
Well, as you hate it, PayPal.
Yeah.
So you go on a rant right now, Geek. So talk about PayPal, your favorite thing.
PayPal is just everyone's gonna hate me if I just start talking crap about PayPal, but PayPal is just the weirdest thing. It's like, here, what's your email address? You could buy tickets to here or so and so, and you could. This is what's your PayPal? What's your email? I'm like, why are you asking for my email? You know what I mean? It's kind of like sketchy a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't really feel like talking about PayPal. You know what I mean?
No, it's a haha thing. That's why I said talk about PayPal. You know how much you love it.
I mean, no, I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. That's why I'm like, oh, bro.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I have a PayPal, and I'm still trying.
You're like the dog staring at the answer machine with PayPal. You're like, huh? What?
I have one. I just still haven't figured out how to use it yet. So that's all. It's just so odd to me. You know what I mean? But anyway, main event. It's the Stevens somehow miraculously come back during the middle of the match. And who comes to the rescue, Joe?
Who?
Who do you think comes to the rescue?
A giant bunny?
No.
Jack.
Jack and Bobby Orlando, right?
Well, you know what that means. Next in May, we're gonna have Jack and Bobby Orlando versus
the Even Stevens, right?
Yep.
Next month, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Oh, well, not next month. In May is May 7th. Next show. And so Johnny Collins defeated Mr. Tibbs when he speared him through the table. Well, not table, the door. I'm sorry. You know? Because
they can't use tables anymore. Marauder knows that. I guess tables are costing the promotions a lot of money now. So they've been using doors. I guess doors are cheaper.
And they break easier.
I I
Or
would.
break it.
I keep saying I would put like one of those click bells on the sides.
That would be
door.
that would be a great gimmick right there. If somebody could just press the doorbell when they go through the door. Ding dong, ding dong.
Yeah, Marauder.
Doors
Doors are cheaper. They're way cheaper. It's kind of funny that isn't it funny, Marauder? Like showing the times of wrestling, like back in our day, like ECW and XPW and CCW, CZW, they all used tables and stuff like that. Like back in the day, it would have been much cooler to use like a table, a door, stack doors on top of each other, 2 chairs on top of each other, and just launch a guy through the freaking doors.
Can we put the doors on fire?
How much pressure could a door take if it be on fire?
I don't know.
Maybe just like a piece of paper. Wouldn't that be funnier if they put like?
That's the reason why lumber is costly, Joe. It costs more money.
Yeah, all the stuff going on. We don't want to talk about guns.
That's why doors are the new tables now. So I guess. So imagine if when we were growing up watching those TLC matches, what would they be now? Doors, ladders, and chairs.
Yeah, doors, ladders, and chairs. Oh my! Foxy will be here soon, Kikus.
Yeah. So doors, ladders, and chairs. Can you believe that?
It would be DLC. It wouldn't be DLC. DLC.
Downloadable content. What
DLC? This needs to be a clip, geek. DLC.
DLC match.
Right? Oh my god, DLC. Oh my god.
Devon, get the doors.
Get the door. Ding dong. Devon, ding dong, get the door. How weird would that be? His phrase gets changed forever. Ding dong, Devon, get the doors.
Can you imagine Bailey being in a doors match?
Well, they would have to have her in a hardcore match, but would they make
ding dong? Hello.
But Marauder, have you made your wrestler bleed yet? It's kind of weird that the blood's sporadic all over their face this time. Yeah.
No. Can you imagine though? Like, ding dong, hello, right? With the doors.
Would the door have a door? Would the doors be set up in the corner like a regular door, or would they be leaning?
I guess Bailey would have a table instead, and you enter through the table instead of entering through the door.
No, it'd be like doors that are like normal doors in the corner, and it'd be like a doors match. I like the blood. I turned it on, and I guess there was an update, and it turned it off. And I'm like, I did the ladder match, and it turned it off, and everybody's head was red. I told this geek on the phone. I'm like, geek, everybody's head is red. Nobody's bleeding. WWE, what did you do? And then I realized the blood was off, and I was like, this would have been a really bloody ladder match. Everybody's head was red. Everybody's.
You need to make Johnny Collins versus Mr. Tibbs.
I don't know if Ryan made Mr. Tibbs yet. So Marauder, if you're gonna make Cara, her outfit, the bottom of her outfit, her tights, or like the Roman thing with the split in the front around the sides, like a Roman outfit. I guess it's coming really soon.
All right. So go ahead, Joe. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So Cara's outfit's blue. I'll have to send you a picture of what her outfit looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to change the height. I'm like, I was gonna make her, and I was like, I can't change the height. And the person's only 5'6", and she's tall. I don't know what kind of tall. I was gonna ask her last night, but I did not want to be that guy. So how tall are you? Oh yeah.
Got quiet.
Awkward.
But anyway, it's like I like the broken tables just that don't disappear anymore.
Oh, they stay there? Can you use them as a weapon? I would love that. Like you just randomly. Oh, fun fact! I was at a wrestling event one time, and a guy got thrown through a table, and they let me bring part of the table home with me, and I had someone sign it.
Not anymore, Joe.
Nope. They were like, no, you can't take that.
No, you can't. That's a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit.
And
right?
You know what else I brought home too? Here we go. This is a clip moment. I went to a wrestling show, got a chance to take a piece of a table home, and a frying pan. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome back to our friends and yours, Foxy. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We were recapping Victory Pro Wrestling from this past weekend. Yes.
Very fun.
Yeah, we were
actually. It's funny you guys asked me to be on again around this time because it just showed up in my Facebook memories. Like I think on Saturday that I was your guest literally a year ago.
What? Not only that, this is the 201 episode, so it basically all comes around, I guess.
That is crazy. That is awesome. Crazy and awesome all at the same time.
You were our first wrestling guest on our podcast, and then I guess for the 201 episode, you're our first guest again. Yeah, so it comes back.
As he probably would never say this, but we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for opening up the door of the wrestling door for us, and like opening you and Damien pretty much opened the door for us for the wrestlers to come in. You didn't open it. You guys left it open. Yeah, you did. You guys really opened it for us. You really
wow.
Yeah.
That I don't know what to say. I mean, that's amazing for you guys. I didn't think. I mean, we're just who we are. I didn't.
Look in the chat. Ian Skinner's in the chat. One of our former guests, right there.
Ian Skinner.
He is another wrestler that we've had on from a different country. He's really cool. You would like Ian.
No
he's
way.
Cool.
Yeah, he's super cool.
You love Ian. He's cool.
He wrestles on Peacock, actually.
Nice.
He has matches on Peacock, actually. Yeah. I
So,
think it's ICW.
So Foxy, if
yes,
since the last time we were all together, what have you been up to? Lately?
A little bit of this, little of that. Anxiety ridden because my kids had to go back to real school. Let's see. Still working on the book. I'm on the final draft, which is a good thing. Because after the final draft comes the next steps of copyright, publication, blah, 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 blah. And thank God I'm on the final draft because I thought that where I left it at was okay. And then I reread it. I'm like, oh God, this is shit. Let me do this again. What else has gone on? Nothing. I mean, honestly, I live a very dull life and I like dull. That is not a complaint. I like dull. It's just same old, kids, cleaning, cooking, schoolwork, hanging out with Damien, like always. Just started venturing out to concerts again. And then, of course, there was the news that just dropped just before I came on.
I just saw that. I saw you.
The show.
Imagine Stockade, right?
Yeah.
That's all that. That's awesome.
I'm coming back to the indie wrestling world 12 years after the fact. Yeah, Stockade, now known as Cade Lothbrook. He's been asking me for 2 years to manage him again. And if I ever did it, I was going to work with people I love. From my past. I didn't, I didn't want to do anything brand new. So finally I'm like, okay, fine.
So my question for you is the promotion that we were just talking about before, VPW, would there ever be a chance that you would come back to Long Island?
I don't know. It's a long way out. It's a long way out. I don't use my car for long drives, so I would have to take public transportation like I used to all the time, which should be really nostalgic. But with the right now, with all the major random acts of violence, probably not.
I get it. That'd be kind of cool to have a Foxy Joe reunion.
We'll see. That's all I can say. Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Geek's trying to fix his camera.
Yeah, so, I got a new camera set up, so I'm good. I'm still here. Don't worry.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's still here. So, have you played the new 2K22 yet, Foxy?
I have and our oldest son have. I don't. That's one of those games where I don't want to physically play, but I will watch you play the shit out of it. So I've seen a lot of it. Damien's in his create a character mode. Like that takes a couple weeks to get done.
I guess
before he
we're gonna
actually
have to be
does
friends
anything.
Is it on PlayStation or Xbox? His character.
We're on Xbox.
I heard some rumor. I don't know how it's true. We're gonna have to confirm it with Marauder in the chat. That if you create a wrestler, it goes on all the systems this time instead of just going on PlayStation.
Yeah, I've heard rumblings about it being cross-platform. I'm not entirely sure since he's the one that does all of that through the creator community. I wouldn't know, but I did hear rumblings that it was finally cross-platform. A lot of things are doing cross-platform, thank God. So who knows? But yeah, he's creating himself, and then of course me, and then all of our different variations throughout the years. Like always.
Oh, not yet, but soon, I believe. Oh,
okay.
when it does, please let me know. I have to upload you two in my game. have to. And me, I haven't made Geek yet, but I made myself, and I guess I have to fix my outfit and make it like we're part. I guess we have to make us the Brood. Dream come true.
By the way, last time we talked, I forgot to tell you. Should I tell her, Joe? But I meant Gangrel.
Tell her.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Isn't he such a cool dude?
He is the coolest.
Oh, right? You have to tell her the story. Tell Foxy your story.
Yeah, tell me the story.
Oh God, the story is that I was I went to go to one of his student shows and watch the students perform in Florida, and Joe's texting me. I don't know what's going on, so I look up and there's this big shadow around me, and what you know is a Gangrel. He says hi to me. He's like the coolest, though.
He is. He really
super nice guy. Nothing bad to say about him. You know?
Yeah.
I kind of knew he was going to do that because one of his students. I told him when Geek comes to the show, give him a little scare, and she's like, "Oh, I know how to do that."
No, you would no way.
That's what the student told Geek. I'll give him a scare. Don't worry. I'm like, I'm thinking. I sent him the shock. Like what happened? I don't know. People. Wow. Yeah. So, actually, it's funny. One of your episode that's on Spotify, Geek, isn't it still up there in the views?
It's still up there.
It's a lot of views. It's a lot of views.
I think the YouTube one has even more though.
Yeah. Who knew?
Wow. These things surprise me only because again, I mean, I haven't been doing this in a very long time, so like to hear things like that's like what me?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, you were our most popular episode we ever had, so you know.
Why?
Wow. Don't ask me.
I think it's because you were like our first wrestler, and as we are now, when we brought you on for this to come back on the podcast, we're doing East Coast Wrestling Month, and we've had how many young female wrestlers, Geek? When we said Foxy, they're all like, oh, Foxy, oh my God! They freaked out. They got all starstruck when
that's weird.
They said your name, and you're like, Foxy. I knew her.
That's so weird for me to hear. And like I've spoken to this with my girlfriend Noelle. She used to be on the indie scene as well. Like when her and I were doing our thing here in Jersey back in like 2002, 2003-ish. Like, you know, we're just doing our thing. We're managing, we're getting in the ring sometimes because again, I gotta reiterate, I was more manager than I was wrestler. But like, you know, we were just doing our thing. And back then there were not a lot of females on the indie circuit yet, and women's wrestling was not a hot commodity or even respected yet. So then later on down the years, like her and I are both done with wrestling, and she would hear the same thing where it's like, oh my God, Noelle, I used to watch you on indie shows, and like I've had that happen to me too. And it's like, huh? Me? Like I don't like name dropping, but this is a hysterical story actually. It was around 2000, I want to say 7 or 2008. It was just after my dad died, and I had done like 2 Ace shows with Damien down here in Union City. not a big deal. I used to work Ace before I knew the promoter for as long as I've been in wrestling. And I just needed to get out of the house. So I'm sitting in the locker room and, you know, the guys are there. I'm saying hi to everybody. I'm just sitting there like kind of wallowing and like mourning and shit. And this girl comes up to me and she's like, oh my God, you're Foxy. It's so great to meet you. And like, she's so excited to meet me. And I'm like, all right, cool. Why me? Like, what if, you know, fast forward, that chick is AJ Lee.
Oh wow!
And I'm when she was Miss April back in the day, but like I knew of her back then as Miss April and everything, but it still like shocked me. I'm like, not for nothing. I don't want to say I'm a nobody. I'm a might have been. So for people to be like, oh my God, Foxy, it's like, oh my God, what did I do? Why? You know, it's really shell shocking sometimes.
Yeah, that and Kayla Sparks when we had her on the podcast.
Oh.
That's right. We had
What
her
a
on the podcast.
sweetheart. Oh,
I love her so much.
I want to meet her in person. I know that she's one of those people that when you meet her in person, she's nicer than she is when we had her on the podcast. So it's like meeting her by a webcam, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I heard when you meet her in person, you get that glow. Like
you cannot help but be happy around Kayla Sparks. Like I remember when her and I were in indie scene around the same time. She was obviously younger than me, and I tried to be like her mom. I always felt like the oldest ones. I was like, oh, I'll be like your mom, your wrestling mom. Are you okay? You good? You know, I reffed a couple of her matches. And just, again, she has this personality where when you're around her, you cannot help but smile and be happy. It's infectious. And there needs to be more people in the world like her when it comes to that.
Definitely. More positive people like
yes.
that. Yes.
God, yes.
Because like when she was on the podcast, like we said, oh yeah, we mentioned your name. And she's like, oh my God, I know Foxy. She's the best. Oh my God. So
she said it, and then was it Maria? Maria, what was her last name?
I don't know.
She wrestles in New York. Maria something. I forgot the last name.
Valdemina?
Valdemina. Maria Valdemina.
Was it her?
Yeah.
Or Christina Marie?
Yeah. Christina Marie and Maria, both of them. They were like, oh my God. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I remember Kayla Sparks saying that all about Foxy.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, she's the best, you know? She's awesome.
Yeah.
So
and I told her my story about how I was like one of your like big fans from Long Island, and I made her a t-shirt. I love Foxy, and then you were a heel, and you're like, can't do that.
Not now. And then she's like,
just pretend like I'm mad at you and walk away with your head down in shame. I was like, okay. She's like, you did the head thing too. I was like, yeah, I did. I was like,
now it's cool to be a heel. So it's like, to be honest, if you're a heel in professional wrestling and you're getting over with the crowd, it's like it's always a workaround because now they could always turn your face now and say, oh, these guys, you know, they could work it into their story because there's a guy that's supposed to be booed in VPW. His name's Johnny Collins. People are supposed to hate him because he always cheats. But people love him because the way he cuts his promos and everything, he's just so great. And
he has the voice of a child. Don't get it twisted. Oh, Foxy, you have to look up Johnny Collins. His voice sounds like he sucked helium for like 3 days.
It sounds like this when he talks.
He wears fur.
Oh, that's awesome.
He wears fur. He's a rich boy.
I think I've seen him on like social media, but I try to keep up. I regardless of being out of like wrestling, I try to keep up because since some of my friends are still wrestling, you know, like, well, who's on the card? Who you work? Like I always I keep an eye out on everybody. That's the mom in me. Like when Kayla returned, I was like her number one supporter. I'm like, oh my God, you got to do this. You got to do this. And I like messaged, you had her on your show. I messaged Ella J privately. I'm like, dude, you gotta get an interview with Kayla Sparks. Okay. Just trust me. So like, you know, I always keep an eye out on where my friends are working and how they're doing, you know, what your match is like. They don't know I'm doing it. Like I'm like that quiet mom just watching in the background, proud. Like no one knows how much I pay attention to them until like I say something like, "Oh my God, you saw that?" Like, yeah, I love you guys. What am I gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
I can't physically be there, but I keep a watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just glad that like there's wrestlers out there that like you that watch out for the younger wrestlers or the ones you know and tell them, okay, do you need this? You
Mhm.
need okay. It's good to have wrestlers out there that,
Mhm.
that still care about each other. Because back in the day,
Yeah.
we know they have three shits about each other. You know?
Exactly. It's like you have to care it because think about it this way: if you work together, things could be a lot better. Like the shows could
Mhm.
be better, and that's all you got to do is work together. It's the same thing with
Yeah.
podcasting. That if more podcasters work together, you can think about the dream podcast you could have together.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
And we
I
are
would.
doing. Sorry.
No,
Go on,
it's
Foxy.
okay. No, just
Sorry, I didn't mean
when it
to.
comes, it's okay. No, when it comes to like my friends, whether they're male, female, or anything underneath that umbrella, it's like the way I always saw it when I was in wrestling, even now while I'm out and back again, is just the fact I'm gonna treat everybody and beat everybody who I wish I had when I was in wrestling. Like especially to the females. Like I didn't have anybody in my wrestling school that had my back or that could watch out for any predators or anything like that. So it's like if I could be that person for somebody else, even if they don't know I'm being that person, then I'm gonna do it, because everybody needs that somebody, whether or not they know it. And if I could be that person, then I'm gonna be that person.
Yeah, definitely. Like as the Wu-Tang Clan would say, you don't forget you protect yourself and you gotta protect your neck.
Who's this Johnny dude?
That song always has to come on anytime I'm creating something. I'm like, protect your neck, gotta protect your neck. I'm like, of all generations, our generation of the best rap group of all time has to be in a WWE game. Woo! You had to be in a WWE PG game. You had to use the Protect Your Neck song. Couldn't use any other song. Like, why that song? I know
It
why.
makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's Johnny Collins? You need to look him up. He's getting a little big on the scene where he has a big head, but he's a different story.
He's funny though. He's entertaining. He does his thing, Joe. You can't hate on him.
I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying he's got a little bit of an ego. A little bit of an ego. I think we all
Well,
do.
he is. Well, if you were the champ, wouldn't you have an ego too?
I am the champ. I won a gold medalist. I won a
There you go. There you go.
gold freaking medal on Saturday. It's in bowling. Of course.
Joe's the champ. There you go.
Yeah, man. Of course. I'm back on top again. Yeah. So we'll go geek.
I was gonna say, you have a book coming out. You have a book coming out, or is it? What's the status on that?
Okay, the status on that. All right. So I'm in its final draft right now. So I'm going through it, checking if there's any like stupid little misspellings or any repetition, which again, I'm so glad I'm going through it again because I thought I was good with the second. Took a break because my computer broke. So I took a break and then I went back into it after like I got a new computer and I got past like mourning my cat and my half brother. And I went back to it and it's all right. It's months now, so it's okay. But thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm reading it back. I'm like, ugh, I could fix this a little bit more. So I'm a little bit more than halfway through the final draft now. When that is finished, I have to get it copyrighted because I don't want nobody stealing my shit. And after that, I want to say publication. I gotta figure out the logistics of everything else because I know that I also want to put it in audio format. So I'm not sure if I should do record audio, and then publish everything as a whole. So it'll be this year, though. It'll be this year. I swear. Mm-hmm. That much I can tell you.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed, right?
Yes, it will definitely be in 2022. That much I could definitely say. It's just which one comes first part I got to figure out.
Well, when it's done, Foxy, let us know if we don't have a guest that day. If it's on like a certain day, we don't have a Wednesday. If we don't have anybody, let us know. We will have you on the podcast, and you can read the first chapter of the book.
You know how long that is?
Oh God.
You know how long that is?
Joe, it's not just a book; it's a memoir. She said. So there you go.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I should probably for those of you who are just watching me for the very first time and I'm talking about this book and you're like, what the hell is she talking about? Okay, so yes, I was in independent wrestling from 1998 to 2010, and the book is that. There we go.
There we go. I just felt my age. All of a sudden, 2010. My mustache is going gray. Actually, we were cleaning my room. My dad was helping me fix my room, and he found the tape that that I bought for you guys.
That tape.
He was like,
tape.
Oh
what the
yeah.
hell's this? And I'm like, Dad, that's tape. And he went, what tape? Tape. Tape. And he's like, Damien and Foxy. He's like, oh, those guys that you talk about a lot. I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, that girl that was on your podcast that I met on the screen that time. I'm like, yeah, that her. He's like,
Is he gonna yell at me for smoking in my own house again?
No.
Okay.
I'll tell him that. I'll tell
Okay.
him. Mr. Matibas, mind your business. Mind your business.
Because I heard when I was watching Damien on your show, he mentioned, oh, dude, she's smoking a lot in the house. I'm like, it's my house. It's okay.
His daddy can't.
It's fine.
It's my dad. He's like,
I know. Parents
just don't understand. Oh, Foxy, look what we got since the last time we met. We've got more fun stuff. We got lanyards now.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah. Well, if you want a lanyard for you and Damien, we can happily send you one.
Very cool.
Yes, they're neon yellow, so you don't lose your keys.
That's a smart idea. Because they're always black, and then if you're someone like me that has like constant black clothing, you lose it a lot.
And it's other marketing.
Wait, where is it? Where is it?
Exactly.
Oh, it's
like
right
it's so
here.
easy to lose.
And they're good. They're not the clippy, stupid. You know, they have the stupid clippy ones. They have the stupid clips at the end, and you click it, and then you walk over, and you're like, oh, now where the hell are my keys?
Mm-hmm.
You just have a strap.
Speaking of that, that tape you were talking about, don't forget. I remember you told Damien about that tape, and it's like, oh, I don't even have the tape anymore.
Yeah, I was like,
you really don't? He's like, you have my tape. I'm like,
I showed him. He's like, you still have?
Oh, look who joined the chat.
Yay!
Cade is here, right?
Mr. Cade. What's up, Cade? Welcome.
Awesome match, by the way, this past weekend, BPW Cade, by the way. I wish you could have won, though, but, yeah.
I'll be at the show eventually. Don't worry. I'll be back. Yeah, so it's so weird that we're ending East Coast Wrestling Month this week, and it kind of makes me sad because I wish March was a little longer. We could have got more East Coast wrestlers to come on.
Yeah,
I mean, East Coast Wrestling has always been where it's at. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like that's where everyone's getting signed right now.
It's so funny that like we tell international wrestlers, like, when you guys come to America, you gotta, before live, we always do this. We try not to like put salt on the West Coast wrestlers, but we're like, you really should start wrestling on the East Coast, like the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, because it's where to go. It's where to start. Like start in New York, go to New Jersey, then you go to Connecticut, and then come to Pennsylvania, the tri-state. You know,
I mean, it's true. I mean, it's true. Even from back in the day, like, you know, ECW really put like East Coast on the map when it came to wrestling, because then there was a huge boom from JAPW to CZW. You know, back then they also had there's another one. Yeah, Ring of Honor, ECWA, Monster Factory. Like, there are so many notable feds and so many notable wrestlers that stemmed from them. Now, granted, like every state has their own little epicenter. Like, you know, Florida's a hotbed, you know, Texas is another hotbed, and you know, you got the whole West Coast area. But like historically, like Northeast. The East Coast is where it is. I mean, just like the late 90s alone, you had like, you know, you had USA Pro, you had ICW. Again, up here we had JPW, SSCW, NWS, NWA, JCW. Like, there was a show every day of the weekends, and on Sundays sometimes too, because, you know, you could run in the afternoon, you could run in the nighttime, and it was That's how it was everywhere in New Jersey and New York, a little bit of Connecticut, stemming slightly up to Rhode Island. Like
now
it was
New
the
England.
shits. Yeah, now it's amazing.
Yep.
And it just hasn't stopped, and that's so fucking great.
It's like New York used to be like the Long Island used to be like, okay, it's like this little promotion, and now it's like Long Island's the king of indie promotions right now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be there.
Like last July, I don't know if you caught it before you came in, like watching it on Facebook. Me and Geek caught a promotion we didn't even know about. Geek bought these tickets for a promotion called Victory Pro Wrestling. And I was trying to research to see what the hell he bought. So I was like looking online, trying to find a website. Website is currently down, being worked on. I'm like, what is this? And I was like, found it on I don't know any of these wrestlers. We went to the show. Me and Geek were in our podcast stuff. People are staring at us, and we're a bunch of crazy people wearing podcast crap. But then some of them were like, "Oh, you're a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah." Who'd you interview? A lot of people. I think we were the only podcast there. Geek's like, I'm like, "Hey, Geek, did you meet any other podcasts?" He goes, "No, we're the only podcast there." I'm like, "How do you know?"
Because a lot of podcasts, like, and this is no disrespect to any other podcast, but like there, a lot of podcasts, once they hit a certain point, they neglect like the littler shows, the up and coming stars, and they just focus on what's hot. But it's like, you don't know who's going to be the next hot one, so you really should be paying attention to everything. Like, don't you want to be the first one to say, "Hey, I interviewed so and so before they did his"? Like, you can't ignore the history. You can't ignore what might be the future. Yeah, and a lot of podcasts do that. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like last night's episode of our podcast, we interviewed a female wrestler that's from Germany that is here for 8 days in Florida. Her name is Kara.
No, 8 weeks.
8 weeks. I thought it was 8 days. 8 weeks. Yeah, 8 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
8 weeks.
Let's say 8 days. Wow. That's it.
8 weeks. Yeah. She's but nobody got her. I'm like, "Are we your first American podcast?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "We're pretty much we were debuting her, but like Lion King style. The like, that's what I felt like. Awkward moment. Simba. She was the Simba. The USA. Yep. Joe, you get your podcast card revoked. No.
We don't have a podcast card. Shh.
Actually, Foxy, we are doing a podcast month next month.
Okay.
If you and Damien want to pull some strings and come on and represent Nerd Herders and come on the podcast next month.
Most I could say is we got to figure out the time, because again, with his karate evenings and then the kids, that's what makes things hard sometimes when it comes to the nightly stuff with the podcast, is that somebody's got to stay with the kids while they're still awake, and then he gets out of karate between 7 and 7:15. Like, he was rushing home so that I can come down to the basement today to do this. Parenthood.
Yay, parenthood. That's cool. I understand. But that'd be kind of cool that have you represent Nerd Herders, because as I told my dad in the car today, and he kind of smiled when I said it. I said, if it wasn't for Damien and Foxy, I would never had the drive to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, I said it last time and I'm going to say it again. You guys gave me so much energy to want to start a podcast, because the way you guys joked with each other and you talked to each other and you interacted with the audience and the fans, and just the way you spoke to me on the phone, I felt like I was family. I knew it was family.
Hello, Joe. Thank you for calling Nerd Herders.
Yes. It was like, it's 631. How are you doing here? Oh, Ghost Wolf, what's up, brother? Like that. That's what I felt like. I felt you guys made the. See, I wish Geek got a chance to actually listen to Nerd Herders in the prime. Geek, they were like, it was something like rare to be able to listen to somebody and like take what they say and like not go, she's just ranting.
Yeah.
She you guys just had something that is hard to come by these days when it comes to like nerd culture.
Mhm.
Like I can't.
Well, honesty.
Yeah,
but it was also a matter of what's really important, and this goes to any fandom and any podcast, is you got to be a fan of what you're doing.
Exactly.
Like the stuff that we would talk about was stuff that we were fans of. Like we didn't just pull it out of our ass. Like, oh, this is popular, let's talk about this. Like these, and not only that, the conversations we would have on the show are conversations we have in the house. Like we would I remember one show we had a sci-fi versus fantasy debate, and it stemmed from literally having the debate in our house. Like him and I are arguing over what genre was better. So we're like, we're going to bring it to the show. Fuck that. But like, you know, I mean, other than being husband and wife, this is going to sound so corny. Okay. But like, Damien's my best friend, you know? So it's also really easy just to shoot the shit with him and not put on the act that we're this loving couple. Because like, no, we're married, but he's my best friend. So it really, you know,
yeah.
I just saw a thingy going around.
Oh, it was buffering. I saw you getting fuzzy.
Yeah.
I was buffering. Yeah.
Buffering.
New name, Foxy Buffering. Instead of Foxy buffering. Oh God! Oh God!
That's a new gimmick now. There you go.
There's one thing I will like pat myself on the back for when it comes to nerd herders. Like I don't do this often. I'm a very like chill, humble person when it comes to this stuff. But one thing I will pat myself on the back for when it comes to nerd herders, we were one of the first like pop culture nerd podcasts that came out, and we were doing it on Blog Talk Radio. Like we were just a legit straight up radio show. And then when it started getting a little stale and we knew we were going to return, we're like, okay, how do we make this a little bit more fun, more interactive? That's when we went, let's just do a Facebook Live. Before Twitch existed, before YouTube streaming existed, we're like, let's just do it on Facebook Live. And it's so funny to see. Yeah, everyone's now doing like the YouTube streams and the Twitch streams, and we're just like, we did that.
You created it. You created it. There you go. Right?
Yeah, because nobody was really doing podcasts on. Like people would do Facebook Live when they're at a concert to show the concert, or like just to say, "Hey, I'm doing this today." We're like, let's just do our whole damn podcast, like, and it worked. And now we have Twitch.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Yeah,
Twitch was actually Justin.tv before.
Really?
Yep. They.
And it's funny when you guys went away, I got really sad and I was like, oh. And then I heard about the Yes Have Some podcast, and I'm like, these guys are okay, but they're not nerd herders. I know they'll never watch my show, but you guys kept me on my nerd heels. But I'm like, you guys will never be Foxy and Damien.
Aw,
sorry guys.
Yeah, it's
somewhere I'm getting.
We still have the once a month show. Doing it weekly, like burnout, straight up burnout. What having 3 kids and then work and then everything else that we do in the day, to do a weekly show is like severe burnout. We're like, we love the show, but we don't want to do the show tonight. We just want to lay down and sleep.
Me and Joe do a show almost every day, right?
I noticed.
There's wrestlers that we and Geek thought like we were just gonna get you and that's it. And then the door, as Geek started saying, I said it too. Then the doorbell started to ring.
People started to come through.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. I'm at work trying not to look at my phone, and I'm like,
don't answer.
Yeah, because my door doesn't have Wi-Fi. So I get home before Geek was mod, and the dudes at Ringside page had 5 messages. I was like, I pull it back into the driveway, and it's like 5. I'm like, wow.
Sometimes I wake up to like 10, 20 messages in the morning, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm interested in being on your podcast. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, wow. And the other funny one was the other message that we get a lot lately, Foxy. It's hilarious. It's like, I'm sorry, your message was in the request box.
That's the message we always get.
I didn't see your message. I'm like, is it you just didn't want to answer it, or you got scared? You saw the word dudes, so you think, ugh, Why do they want to attack?
No,
their
you know
head?
what? That's very plausible because for some strangers, and I don't know, ever so spiffy, all of her stuff goes into my requests too. I'm like, why aren't you in the primary thing already?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like it's always in the requests. I'm like, what the hell?
I learned how you could swap it. Like there's
Mhm.
you click the person's name and go across and you give options or whatever, and it says primary
Mhm.
or the general.
I gotta
No,
check
it's talking
that
about
out
no,
later.
she's talking about the request box.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
She's talking about the request box.
Yeah,
not
sometimes
the,
it's in the request box. Sometimes it's in the general as opposed to the primary. I never check the general messages because I just assume everything goes into the primary because only people I'm friends with like will message me. So I'm like, why isn't this going through right? And like sometimes I don't see her messages till like the next day. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, request
Aw.
box. Scrounge at the social
I
media.
swear, Foxy, you ever
They
guys
really
ever
are.
I swear, you guys ever come to Long Island and you say, "Oh, right here," she will find you. She'll be like, "Oh my god, she's here. Where is she?"
She's like, I love that name. That's
She
it.
will. If you're surrounded by your kids, she will be like, "No, my turn to give her a hug."
Oh, that's so cute.
Yes, she
Aw.
talks about anytime we mention the word Foxy, she's like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god, I love her. She's my favorite. I love her. I love her."
Oh, I love her too.
We're gonna make her cry. She's probably crying in the other room, like, "Oh my god."
She's so sweet. She is so sweet.
We definitely do have to. I know you guys are always busy with the kids, but like, definitely let us know if you're ever gonna come to Long Island for something like a family outing.
Mhm.
BPW,
Like,
BPW.
BPW. You can come to a wrestling show and just hang out.
Watch Cade wrestle, right?
We could all have pizza and just hang out. Oh yeah, we have another Twitch streamer in the chat. Yeah. Woohoo!
What's going on?
Hello.
She's another gamer. She's really cool. She's
Nice.
super cool. Yes. Got to keep our Twitch fam. Yay. Yeah. So have you played any I know you don't get a chance to play the games too much, but have you been watching any games that the kids are playing or
Well, I've started carving out time for my games again. I haven't had a whole lot of time, but I try to carve out time. So I finally over fall, I finally finished Dragon Age Inquisition, which was the third installment of the Dragon Age series. Because before Assassin's Creed, that was my absolute favorite. But my Xbox was being wonky when I first started playing it, so I kind of just rage quit. And I picked it up and finally finished that one. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I just finished over the summer. Great fucking game. Great fucking game. And I mean, I have such a backlog of games that I haven't played yet that now I'm like, well, while I wait for new ones that interest me to come out, I'm going to go into the backlog. So I think the next one I'm going to start up is either Assassin's Creed Origins or I'm going to finish Odyssey. I'm not too sure yet. Then again, we also just bought Elden Ring, so I might try that. I'm not entirely sure because every time Damien plays, he dies really fast. And I'm really not about that. Like,
about that life?
No, it's like, let me just play and then die eventually. But since it has that kind of Dark Souls feel to it, I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
the gamer girl in the chat's just like, I love that game.
See, yeah, Elden Ring is ruthless. See, I know. I'm like, well, I was watching my husband play the other night. I'm like, did you just die already? And he's like, yeah. And I'm watching it, and like, it's so. I don't want to say off balance when it comes to the system of your character's levels versus the other character's levels, but it does seem like that. And I do want to play. Like, the story seems really interesting, but I also don't want to die the first like 2 seconds of the game, and then 2 seconds after that, and then 2 seconds after that. So we'll see.
It's something when you play a video game and you know you love it. Like the first few minutes of it with the music or like the videos, you know, like the way they intro games, it's like that you know that it's yours. You're like, I'm playing this whole fucking game. I don't care.
That's like me with Last of Us.
That was such a great game. That was such a great game.
You should have seen the mod's face when I finally finished the game. She's like, it's like, you done yet? No. It'd be like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, the zombies are coming after me. I gotta get rid of them. and they're spitting blood at me and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's like, you done yet? And then the credits are like this. I finally finished.
Mhm.
And you're like, it's over? You sure it's over?
It's over. And then the mod's like, thank God, it's finally over, that game. How long did it take you to beat that game?
Oh, there he is in the chat. Legend himself, Mr. Dragon.
Hey. Yeah, he's Oh man.
Oh, that's a great game.
Yeah,
the Mass.
Yeah, when
No,
it
Dead
comes
Space,
to
something.
what was I gonna say? It's under the BioWare umbrella. This is where the sci-fi fantasy argument first came in, because under the BioWare umbrella, there's Dragon Age, which is my game, and then there's Mass Effect, which is his game. So that's where the whole argument came in. With Mass Effect, I don't personally play it. It's not my style, but I love watching it. It's such a great storyline, graphics, amazing game, and it's so soothing. It is so soothing. Like, we were talking about this yesterday. Anytime he plays Mass Effect, I fall asleep because the music, the voice actors, everything about that game is just so soothing that you just find yourself passed out after a while.
Jeez, that's great. I'm so into the game, I fell asleep. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
That and I like Dead Space. Dead Space is another great game.
I've heard. I haven't played that one. My brother does. We're like a
Dead
family of
Space.
gamers.
I remember playing Quake back in the day, and I was so hooked.
Oh, yeah, Quake.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, back I was old PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Dead Space. Yeah, another. But
Dead Space.
I got hooked, and I never really thought I would like shooting games. And I was like, kill it, die. But Dad's like, what the hell are you playing? Quake. He's like, never heard of it, and then he kept walking.
You know what game I used to love back in the day? Half-Life. The original Half-Life.
I've never played, but I've heard so many great things about it.
Oh my god, Half-Life, ridiculous game. It's about a science experiment gone wrong, and then a portal from another dimension opens up, and then all these creatures from through the portal come out and they try to attack you.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I've heard great things about it, though.
It's so
It's a great
funny.
game.
It sounds like everything going on now. Portal opens, everybody's getting attacked.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A portal is opening. Yep.
Yeah. Got to get my proton pack charged. Yeah.
Do you guys ever play Uncharted or?
Nope, Damien has, and I watched.
Uncharted.
Again, there's a lot of games I personally love, but wouldn't personally play. Like, he's played the Uncharted series. It was great. I loved it. Far Cry 5, amazing. I didn't play it. He did. Amazing. Like, I don't want to say I'm picky with my games, but it takes a lot for me to go, okay, I'm going to pick up the controller and experience that myself. So, but I will watch him play just about anything. Yeah.
As I said, once again, you pick up a game, and by the first few seconds of it, you either know that you will be playing this for the next 5 months, or you'll be playing it for like a day, and you'll go back to GameStop going, my money now. That sucked. Like,
half and half, because Kate is probably going to kill me for this one, but when I first started playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I was like, okay, is this going anywhere? This is boring. This is repetitive. Oh my God, why did I get this game? So I just stopped playing completely for a good 6 months. So I finally went, all right, like, you got to pick up. It's going to get good. Trust me. I'm like, fine. So I picked the game back up and I started going, and holy shit, the game got so good. And it became one of my favorite in the franchises. But like the first couple minutes, I was like, this sucks. But then I would say maybe a few hours into the game and really getting into the storyline, it was an amazing game. So half and half on that.
Love Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake's the man.
You flopped their thing on the screen so fast, Geek. Sometimes
no, I said love Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake.
Okay, I don't know if she
from
saw
Uncharted.
it.
Yeah. No, I saw.
On the Uncharted. Yeah.
Oh, I
the
got
Uncharted
worried. I'm like,
series.
you didn't see it.
Yeah. The Uncharted series.
We're trying to be nice to our Twitch fam geek. She wants us to be. We want our Twitch fam to be let know that we love them too.
Make sure you give us a follow so we can see the
She's
dancing
been
cat.
following us for a while. That person in the chat. We talk all the time on Insta, so it's okay. She's one of our peeps. You gotta remember, you gotta follow her back, geek. And when I'm bored, I put the Twitch on, and all my Twitch peeps on there playing their games.
Yeah.
Some of them don't follow us back, like Bunny. No.
A lot of them don't like the bigger names. They won't follow us back. They'll be like, "Oh, hi." That's it.
There's a few wrestlers that are Twitch streamers that I saw. I was like, oh,
that's like the thing.
Indie wrestlers.
A lot of them. A lot. I was like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah. That's the thing. Twitch streaming the games is like the big thing. Which hey, that's awesome. I thought about it for a hot second, but like, I can't. I'm like so technologically stupid that I can't even figure it out. And like,
it's not that hard. It's not that hard once you figure it out. You're like, okay, I figured it out. It's great now. I'm on. I'll be on it 24/7. So
yeah, because I play games and I'm hysterical. Like the things that happen to me in game were just my own personal commentary. I'm like, why don't I record this? But then it's like, okay, I can't figure it out, and okay, I don't exactly have all the time, and oh, if I do that, I'm gonna have a 6-year-old walking around in the background. Can I have a snack? Yeah.
Okay, here's a cookie. Go away.
Yeah, like I know if I did that, I can't be like consistent at all. So.
The thing is, me and Geek are thinking about starting
another
channel as we play the WWE 2K22 game. But
yeah.
I have a whole setup now that I have like now I'm with the headset on today. I'm going old school 1-year anniversary style, and I would have to reattach everything and plug the other direction so you could watch me as I'm playing and have my headset on and hear me. So
it's not Joe. I could teach you how to set that whole thing up. It's not that hard.
I know, but it's
you gotta talk to the geek here. The geek knows.
It's set up for this. It's set up for my add to the microphone. So
it's so St. Patty's.
Yes, it was.
Very St. Patty's.
I need to get like more beads. I have also a hardcore band. Barbed wire. It's barbed wire. It was from Halloween, and I'm like, that would look so cool on my microphone. It looks so hardcore. It looks like barbed wire.
Sure, the ECW guys would see a rubber barbed wire and just look at you like, really?
But it looks cool. It's Halloween.
The fans bring their weapons match, exactly, right?
I'll just be like this. I'll be like, Kate will be like, what do you got?
Rubber barbed wire.
Get the hell out of here with that, Joe. The podcast sucks.
Last night at the BBW show, somebody tried to hand one of the wrestlers a steel chair, right? And I just started laughing at that, and the wrestler denied him. I was like, "No, I don't want your steel chair." So,
as I told you, there's stuff in wrestling. Here, this is gonna be the crying guy,
the kayfabe,
it's still real to me, damn it, guy. Those chairs that they use as weapons, they marked like a little like X under the foot, like under or wherever it's marked. So
yeah,
they know.
You kind of cut me off on my story, though.
Sorry, go back. Go.
So he took the weapon. So he tried to give him the weapon. He didn't take it. He tried to give the other guy the weapon, and he didn't take it either. It was like the funniest thing. And then we're like talking in the background. Well, at least he tried. He tried to be helpful.
Wow.
Did
it to two people, the kid, didn't he?
Yeah, he did like both, and it was in the same match too.
Yeah,
those people in the same match, and it's like, well, you try to be helpful, you know.
Like, you could have been mean and said, "No, I'm not giving you nothing." No, well, you tried twice. No,
take your own chair. This is my chair.
And
right?
This promotion doesn't do blood, and apparently the main event was blood. So I'm like, well, they're not PG anymore.
It might have been accidental, though.
Yeah,
it could have been, right?
Yeah. But now with indie promotions, they have to have a medic on
New York is really.
Oh, that's nothing new.
New York is really strict. Got stricter since the pandemic.
Yeah, but that's nothing new. There's always been a medic in the locker room, especially in New York. Mostly in New York, actually. There's always been a medic and a doc to check you out before and after matches. That's nothing new.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
I think they got like a little bit stricter with that. I don't know the actual rules, but somebody I was talking to, they said, yeah, it's a little bit more stricter now. The New York State Commission, yeah.
Yeah, good. As it should be.
Yeah,
exactly. Take care of the wrestlers. That's right.
Yeah, because like you never know with anything going on now during matches. People could try a thing that they didn't train before the show. You know, everybody practices everything before they do it. But then what if someone I know that could have a table switch like someone we know and oh, I'm so sorry, bro. You know what's funny? Is Damien
he's still in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, I can see his picture. He's like, yeah, Joe. Yeah.
It's so true. All right, super quick. Time out, super quick. Okay, I got so yes, anytime I do any kind of game, any game, doesn't matter what it is, somehow I manage to set myself on fire. In any game. I could just be standing there and I'm like, oh shit, I'm on fire. Like happens every single game I play. He sits there and waits for it. He waits for the moment for me to go, fuck, I'm on fire. It never fails. Never fails.
It's gonna happen in the WWE game now.
Oh yeah,
we do a table match. Zip, you're on fire.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I will manage to set my character on fire somehow or another. It's just
they should do flaming tables matches.
They do. They do have flaming. Yeah, they have flaming tables. It I don't know if it's in this one. The last one, you could stack the tables and then you do something, and the wrestler picks his boot up and he drops the thing on the table, and the wrestler does that. And you grab the wrestler and
wow. Well, they got really, really violent these games now.
Yeah. That's why these kids are going to school trying to power bomb their friend through desks. Like,
what's wrong with them?
Oh my gosh, we have to make that a clip, if you don't mind, Foxy. The light myself on fire.
Go ahead, go right ahead. It's fine.
Okay, well, asking now.
I'm sure there'll be playing more clips in this episode.
We like to now because somebody told us we need to make clips. I'm like, we've been making clips all along. Just like Geek finds clips of the show that I think is cool, and we'll load them.
And it's also time consuming too. You know what I mean? Because me and you both work. So where can we find the time to make clips? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
All these kids have time that they have a podcast, and we're like, what's time?
Right?
What time? I'm sitting down, just watching. I don't have to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all these kids are getting paid by Twitch. We're just sitting there like, I gotta go to 7:30 in the morning. I'm going, stupid alarm.
They're getting sponsored like lots of money, and I'm like, yeah.
I'm still sitting in my parents' basement doing the podcast.
Wow. Stereotypes.
Yeah. When wrestlers say that, oh, the basement dweller, I was like, don't even know it yet. You know what you're saying.
I'm doing a podcast in my mom's basement. There you go.
So am I, technically. So am I.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, the 2-family house is technically my mom's house, and I'm in the basement right now, so.
I wish that.
Yeah, but technically, you've been in the ring.
That's true.
So we're just people on the internet making a podcast.
I kind of was in the ring, but let's not talk about that one because that stuff I wasn't trained. I'm rocking back and forth because it's not a good thing.
It's not a good idea to talk about, Joe.
BRS backyard. It was bad. I should never did that.
Look, whether or not anybody ever admits it, everybody did it.
Yeah. Hey, that's where my creative character got born from. Kid Crazy.
See?
Yeah.
I mean, look, yes, it's frowned upon, greatly frowned upon. I'm not going to deny that, but in the same right, everybody's done it. Everybody has done it. As a teenager, I fucking did it. I mean, I was a manager in my friend's like backyard thing back in high school, but like Everybody fucking did it. Everybody wanted to just do spots or whatever in their backyard on a mattress on the fucking, grass, or like do a suplex into a pool. Like everybody's done it. It's a matter of how far you go with it that makes it like that's bad.
Yeah. Like the ones that me and Geek used to watch in college, like on the tape.
All the DVDs we used to watch, those backyard wrestling DVDs were like our friend had. No, they used to sell them at Sam Goody back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember those
Like,
backyard wrestling?
Backyard
Yes, I
wrestling,
do.
$5 DVDs. I'm like, what is this?
$5. I'll do it. Here's my money. Let's see what these idiots are doing this week.
Wait, what? Rich?
Not
Not
the basement. Richie's
Richie's
Recce. Okay,
Wreck.
touche. Yeah, we don't call it the basement anymore. It is Damien's man cave, and we named it after my father because my father was the one that started building all this stuff in here. So we call it Richie's Wreck because it's a mess.
Oh,
So yeah,
Well,
we named it
don't-
after my dad.
We don't call this the basement. We call it the Geek Lab.
There you go.
The old Geek Lab got shut down, but we don't talk about it in Kanto. We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I was forced to watch that movie with my family, and everything bad situation happens. My mom starts singing that song, that Disney song. We don't talk about Bruno. And here we go. When we start talking about guests that don't like us, we don't talk about Bruno. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's us. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I like the randomness though.
Yeah. it's
So
us.
random, but I love it.
Yeah. So
That's our podcast. Our podcast is so random.
Everything random. Exactly.
yeah.
That's okay because it's just me. And that's how me and Joe are. We just talk and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh God,
We
I have
don't-
to find that that thing I sent Spiffy earlier about having anxiety and ADD. I'm ADD, words are random, and then he pours coffee in the cup, and then he's like, my anxiety with my ADD. I'm like, that's me. Random words, random thoughts. It's me.
Yeah.
I sent it
about
to our
right.
artist. He was dying. Joe Alphabet. He was like, yes. Did you know we actually had him on our podcast, Joe Alphabet?
No, I didn't. I remember the first podcast we were talking about him,
Yeah.
but
he
I didn't know he
actually-
was on.
Yeah, he came on. Such a nice guy. You would love him. He's such a sweetheart. Such a good
Yeah.
guy.
Oh.
And he
And
does his
does all
art.
great art. Great
You have
art.
to go on his Instagram page and look at his art. It's just so he deserves to work for Cartoon Network or one of those companies that makes those
something
cartoons.
big. Something big. He deserves it. Something big.
Like-
anything.
What's that one that used to have the blue jay and the raccoon? What was that show? I forgot the name of that show.
Oh God. Shit. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I know the one you're talking about though.
Animaniacs.
No.
No.
See, Foxy would remember the show.
Yeah, it's
They were-
on Cartoon. It was on Cartoon Network, and they still
Yeah.
show replays of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Crap. I don't know. It had that
He-
apple and onion feel to it though.
Yes.
I
yes.
still watch cartoons.
And it has the gumball guy, and he's like, "You're fire!"
Yeah.
And his dad's like, "Hey guys," the grandpa.
Yeah.
I still think Rick and Morty's the greatest cartoon right now.
Uh oh.
Sorry.
Fever.
Sorry. No.
No.
I tried, but I can't. I can't. All I know is every time it's on, because we don't watch much cable anymore. We watch a lot of YouTube. But anytime it would be on Cartoon Network at night for Adult Swim, I would seem to catch the same fucking episode no matter what day, what time. And it was always the one with where they're on another planet and the dad has to sacrifice his penis for to save. It's always that same damn episode. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I tried.
Does Damien like Rick and Morty? Can't get into it. No,
Can't
he
get
doesn't
into
like
it?
it.
No.
Wow.
No.
We tried, right?
We did. We gave it a try. Like we're not one of those people that's like, oh, screw this before we watch it. Like we gave it a try, and we're like,
you gave it the ballpark. You gave it the college. Was it the college? The good old college.
the good old
try.
college try. Yeah.
Here we go. Funny question. If you see our logo, what channel would
Yes.
if we were a cartoon, what channel would our cartoon be on?
I would see it fitting somewhere between Cartoon Network, but more towards like the not quite Adult Swim yet, but like not still the kiddie stuff, like maybe somewhere in the Bob's Burgers time frame, or Boomerang, because it has more of a classic stylization to it that reminds me of like the Scooby-Doo shit.
So what do you think we would be doing? Would we be doing like the podcast interviewing wrestlers that are cartoons and stuff
I
like
think
that?
I think me and Joe would be like the Mystery Machine.
Yeah, you guys would be like in the van trying to find the wrestlers, but they think you're like out to get them, and it's like, no, we're actually the good guys, and they're all like running away.
Sure. It's like, no,
like, we don't know who you are. What's going
You're like,
on?
don't you know us? No, you're too new.
We don't know you guys.
And then they run into danger, and then you save them. You're like, we told you we were the good guys. Okay, cool. Well, we'll be on your podcast now.
Yay!
There you go.
Geek's the face like,
it's
yeah. I'm like, yeah. Geek's like, but the show's half over. How are we gonna do a podcast and anything? It's the Cartoon Geek. Have us talking. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
That's why we always end our podcast like a cartoon. It's like, I'm Metal Geek.
I'm Joe Panther the Third.
And then the guest, and sometimes the guest is not really into it. They're like, what am I supposed to say? What were you doing here?
And I have to say end, and they're like, oh. And that's why we always forget. We always get in this little conversation with the guests before the show. We never get a chance to tell them. Craig of the Key. Yes.
Craig of the
Dave
Creek.
Oh,
We love that show.
that show's so cute.
It's
so
such a great
cute.
show. We
It's
love
so
that show.
cool. I was watching it and I'm like, it's gonna last a month. And then I started watching. I was like, this show is so cute. Like it's kids during the summertime doing stuff that we would do as a kid.
Exactly.
Go out and hang out in the woods.
Mm-hmm. And it's full of just imagination. Like all these just use their imagination. They have their own little adventures, and it's like it harkens back to such like the old school cartoons before technology. Because yeah, they have phones and laptops, but they choose to actually go outside, play in a creek with a bunch of their friends, use their imagination. It's so great. I love that show.
The one makes me laugh is the bird. Makes me laugh is the kid with the bird on his head. I'm like, that bird's gonna get so murdered by a hawk. They're in the middle of the woods.
The joke to it, the character is Kelsey. The joke to Mortimer the bird is that I think that's like the 5th or 6th incarnation of the bird, because she mentions his full name and he's like Mortimer something something the 7th or whatever. So that's not her first bird either.
I'm like, where I live, that bird would last 5 seconds in the woods. The kid will be outside. What happened to my bird? Oh no, where did it go? He just got murdered.
It got birdered.
He got birdered, man. Bird got birdered.
It's so incredibly elusive without being in your face about things.
Yes, it's that's something that we've praised the show a lot about. Like the show features children of all ages, backgrounds, sexual orientation, gender, race, disabilities. It has everything in it. But the thing is, the way they put it in their story is they acknowledge it, but at the end of the day, we're all just a bunch of kids. We're friends with you regardless. We love you regardless. Like it's natural. They made it in such a natural way, you know, where just kids are being kids. You're my friend because you're nice to me and we have the same interests. They don't, you know, sit there and go, oh, that person is so-and-so, or they don't make a big deal out of that person, you know, oh, that person, you know, can't walk properly. Let's help them. And all, like, it's just so inclusive and so welcoming to like the diversity of the world that it's so cool.
Yeah. It's hard to find good cartoons like that these days because like they either do the Teen Titans thing and talk about booties and food and stuff like that, or they do.
Ever so Spiffy always laughs at Teen Titans.
I love Teen Titans.
I actually I joked with someone and I asked another guest about what would it be our cartoon, and I actually in my head I thought we would be the Teen Titans style. We'd be like, hey, like when I do my intro and I go international.
Did you see the movie or no?
No, I haven't seen the movie yet.
Oh man, the movie's hysterical, Joe.
It is.
It is so freaking.
Is it on
funny.
Netflix or Hulu? Do you think?
I don't know.
It's probably HBO. Probably
HBO Max. See, when Teen Titans Go, it's like you either get it or you don't get it, because that cartoon, yeah, it's made for the kids, but it has enough in it where it's like people our age are like, yeah, I get the joke. I get that joke.
Yeah.
So, because that's where I fell. I thought it was such a dumb show that my kids would watch, and then I caught one episode. I'm like, this is the greatest show ever.
HBO Max. Okay, I may have to watch when I
yeah.
go to my sister's apartment because I know things.
Yeah, I have to watch that movie. I watched it on the plane coming back. I forgot where I was coming back from, but
probably your parents' house.
Probably Florida or something. But anyway, I watched it and I'm like, this movie is so fucking funny. I couldn't stop laughing because it's almost like Family Guy, but it's like they have little innuendos in there, but the kids
Teen
don't
Titans.
understand. Yeah, exactly.
Teen Titans.
Or even when they start talking about like 80s things, like kids are like, oh, this is what the 80s are like. And of course the adults, like, I can't believe I have to call us adults these days, but us, like, we're just like, well, yeah, he's not wrong. That's what it was like. Or, oh my God, I get that joke because it's an 80s joke and I'm an 80s kid. Oh my God. Like, it's one of those smart, stupid cartoons, I like to call it, because when you look at it at first glance, you're like, oh, this is really dumb. But then when you really watch it and listen, you're like, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Totally. It's just like, it's so funny to think like we lived through like the best era of like cartoons, like everything from the real Ghostbusters, He-Man, and
Cow and Chicken.
Was that
Cow and Chicken?
Cow and Chicken.
Cow and Chicken, Rugrats, like so many fun cartoons happened before all these millennial kids are like even around. So like they see the shirts Rugrats, they're like, oh yeah, I watched that. I watched the new show, and I'm like, no, that's not the Rugrats. That's not them. No. Go find your parents' cassette tapes there in the attic. That's the real Rugrats.
Yeah, now they're trying to bring it back. It's pretty funny though.
It looked. Have you seen the way the new Rugrats look, Foxy?
Remember, we host a pop culture podcast. Anytime there's something, oh, remake this, we know about it.
No. Oh yeah, Two Stupid Dogs, another one.
Two Stupid Dogs is good.
Oh my God, that show
and
was great.
Cat Dog was a fun one.
See, like stuff like that. See, Foxy just brings you back. Like you could think of the heyday of the Nickelodeon cartoons. Like there's so many cartoons that Nickelodeon had their hand in the dough, and they would pop out one after another. Like we would be like, I'm so used to Rugrats,
Dexter's Laboratory,
and then Dexter's Laboratory comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's Cartoon Network. That's when people started.
Yeah, that was
away
Cartoon Network.
Yeah, like
but
Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy,
Rocco,
like Rocco's
Modern Life. Yep.
Oh my God! Like, but that was other than Ren and Stimpy being a little sometimes uncensored.
Sometimes.
Oof, some of the stuff they would do on there when they were
sometimes.
Like oh,
exactly. That's why they ended up moving Ren and Stimpy over to MTV, because it was like got a little cringe here and there.
Rocco too.
Yeah, Rocco's
Rocco had some.
Because the cartoons were growing up just as we were, so it was like it was a natural progression where they're growing up because we're growing up, but they're like, oh shit, there's a bunch of other kids that needs to watch this stuff too. So, oops.
I stole a line from Rocco. Anytime I see someone do something, like you change your page, you wash your hands. You change the page, you wash your hands. And I walk away, and they're like, "What's that from, Joe?" I said, "Really? That's from Rocco's Modern Life."
Rocco was the king of cartoons right there.
Stimpy. Yeah. All right. What's that?
I was going to ask how we're doing on time. That's all. Yeah.
We're a minute something. We did it again, geek.
All
right. Foxy, do you want to promote anything you're doing right now? Anything coming up?
Well, I mean, for random things, as well as updates on the book and stuff, everybody can follow me on at Viva Foxy. That's VIVA FOXY. Same handle on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, even though I don't use YouTube much, and Snapchat. At the end of this month, on the last Wednesday of the month, we have Nerd Herders, myself and my husband, Damian Dragon, along with Dan Law and Craig Lagans at danlaw.tv. Saturday, April 9th, I believe, right? I think so. Let me check my calendar. Give me a second.
Oh boy.
Yes, Saturday, April 9th. My music podcast, Manic Mixtape, makes its return after a month hiatus. That is also on danlaw.tv. And if this sounds weird. This sounds weird. If you are in the South Jersey area on April 16th, come on down to IWA Pro Vintage, where I will be managing Cade Lothbrook for my first time in 12 years.
Wow.
Holy
That's
shit,
awesome.
that sounds so weird.
Oh my God, no.
That's so weird. I haven't said it aloud since he asked. I told Damien about it and I told my mom, but I haven't said anything about it until today because he finally let the cat out of the bag. I'm like, oh, I guess I can talk about it now. And it's so weird. I don't know.
Is it going to be a new incarnation of Foxy, or is it going to be the same old incarnation?
It's a new incarnation of Foxy.
Okay.
Definitely a new incarnation of Foxy.
Well, if you want to take the picture of your still photo, you could send it to us. Be look, Foxy's making a return.
It'll be all over the internet. It'll be all over social media.
Okay, because we are your dudes. We are your dudes. We always hook you up and help you out. So
I know. No, the day of, because I'm not revealing anything until the day of, because I got ideas.
Okay, I can't wait to see. I mean,
I got ideas.
That and hopefully make a return to the ring. Fingers crossed. Nah.
Okay.
I was always a manager. I was a manager first and a wrestler very, very part-time. Very part-time. So
Damien's woo.
Damien's picture always makes me think guys, I gotta go. His picture is always
I have to leave, all right?
Gotta go, guys. His picture always makes me laugh when I see it. It's yeah, Joe, I know. I know, Joe.
That's that smooth, smart ass look. That look.
And it's I know, Joe. I know we're the reason why you became a podcaster. It's okay. You don't have to fanboy. We know, Joe. I know. All right, Geekins.
So you want to wrap it up real quick, Joe?
Thank you so much, Foxy.
Thanks.
I'm Joe Panther III.
I'm Metal Geek.
And
I'm Foxy.
And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.